Radio IKIM, Inspirasi Fora Islami. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and a very good afternoon to the dear listeners of IKIM FM. Welcome to the final episode of Global Muslim Matters, your portal to the world of Muslim affairs across the globe. The show is a collaboration program between IKIM with International Institute of Advanced Islamic Studies, IAIS Malaysia. And dear listeners, for today, since it is our final episode, I'm inviting Dr. Ahmad Badri Abdullah. He is the Deputy CEO and Associate Research Fellow at IAIS Malaysia. Assalamualaikum, Doctor.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
And how are you, Doctor?
Alhamdulillah, fine. And thank you for having me again today.
Yes, again.
For the final episode.
Yes, for the final episode of Global Muslim Matters. So, dear listeners, if you have been following us throughout the seasons of Global Muslim Matters, Dr. Badri Abdullah, he is the first speaker of the episode. And I think, Doctor, it is such a special way for us to end this season with having Dr. Badri as the final speaker for the show. And, Doctor, for today, our topic is compassionate diplomacy, Malaysia's aid amid Gaza's ongoing turmoil. And going to the interview itself, Doctor, following the 77 days of continuous attacks by Israel in Gaza, what are the recent developments, especially when we talk about the efforts for resolution, humanitarian aid, and also the diplomatic engagements?
I would like to thanks again Batrisha and also IKIM FM, especially by for your organization of this program and great episodes on Muslim global matters. And today we are going to speak on the Malaysia's strategic roles to help the condition in Gaza. And regarding your question, as we all know, Israel continues its bombardment on Gaza, with latest attack hitting near a hospital in Rafah and also in the northern Jabalia refugee camps. And I think 20 minutes ago, Israel used one of its biggest and most destructive bomb in southern Gaza. And as of now, more than 20,000 people have been killed in the Gaza Strip since Israel began bombarding the enclave more than 10 weeks ago. Today is the 77th day of the attack. And the United Nations Security Council is set to vote on stopping fighting in the Israel-Palestinian crisis and for the sending of aid to Gaza. There have been some difficulties in agreeing on the resolution's wording. Israel has asked people to leave a part of Gaza, especially in the northern part. The Security Council members are working hard to avoid the United States to again vetoing the resolution. The vote postponed now for 3 times and now expected to happen on yesterday on Thursday. Mm-hmm. But as I think I've informed that even that voting session has also been delayed further indefinitely. Mm-hmm. And according to the Ecuador's UN ambassador, who is the current president of the Security Council, we are not really sure when would be the next voting session would be. And as of now, we know that the head of Hamas Political Bureau, Mr. Ismail Haniyeh, is already in Cairo for a visit on last Wednesday, especially to obtain a ceasefire and additional humanitarian aid for Gaza. He is having a discussion on full ceasefire and also on the additional humanitarian aid for Gaza. And we also know that Hamas rejected the Israeli government offer for another pause and exchange of hostages for them. For Hamas, exchange of hostages can only happen with a full ceasefire. So they rejected the proposal by the Israeli government. I think that would be the updates and also the latest developments in Gaza right now.
And talking about, we look in the context in Malaysia. I would like to ask for your opinion. How has the Prime Minister, Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim, his leadership showcased support for Palestine, and how has he navigated the delicate balance between global diplomacy and also the complexities of Malaysian societal divisions?
Yes, I think Malaysia's Prime Minister, Mr. Anwar Ibrahim, has been actively engaged in addressing the issue in Gaza through various diplomatic and public efforts. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim has been an unwavering advocate for Palestinian rights and becoming a significant voice in the Muslim world and globally for his consistent support for the Palestinian cause. He emphasizes that the understanding of the Palestinian and Israel issue need to be done through one of the scholar, which is Edward W. Said's concept of political dispossession, shedding light on Israel's systematic land expropriation from Palestinians. In contrast to other ASEAN leaders that most of them have taken a broader approaches focusing on urging an end to violence and addressing the humanitarian crisis, Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim took a firmer stance and condemning Israel atrocities very strongly. And Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim strongly support the United Nations Secretary General's call to the international community to prevent ethnic cleansing and the expulsion of the Palestinian people from their home. Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim has expressed readiness to join international effort to deliver humanitarian aid and relief supplies to Gaza with full facilitation from the Egyptian government. And the Prime Minister led a large rally in Kuala Lumpur, I think in last October, to condemn Israel's assault on the Gaza Strip, demonstrating Malaysia's strong support of the Palestinian people. So Malaysia maintains ties with Hamas and reserve their right to engage with the group, which has put the country at odds with some of its Western partners. Prime Minister Anwar firmly opposed Western pressure to condemn Hamas, citing their democratic right. They are democratically elected by Gaza's people, and defending their right to lead. Prime Minister Anwar also committed Malaysia to substantial humanitarian aid, pledging 100 million values of aid. And the Prime Minister underlined the importance of the Arab and Islamic countries' role in stopping the ongoing war in Gaza and called for mobilizing international effort to facilitate the passage of humanitarian aid in Gaza. This is especially in his speech in the special meeting of the Arab and Islamic countries, which was hosted in Saudi Arabia last November. He extended his efforts internationally, engaging with leaders in ASEAN and the Gulf countries, Gulf Cooperation Council summits, and advocating for ceasefire and humanitarian corridor. Prime Minister Anwar held discussion with leaders such as the Saudi Arabia Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, Turkey's President Erdogan, Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, focusing on Gaza's conflict and the urgent need for aid. Prime Minister Anwar also faces external pressure and also internal challenges due to Malaysian polarization, defending his stance as a matter of justice and human rights. In his concluding speech for the 2024 national budget, he stressed that the Gaza issue should be viewed through the humanitarian lens.
Yes.
And he highlighted that several global nations have adopted a similar approach, which is the human right approach, emphasizing that the Palestinian issues transcend religious boundaries. And his leadership in the Gaza crisis has bridged religious and ethnic divides within Malaysia, calling for collective support for Palestinian amid a humanitarian crisis. Prime Minister Anwar also navigates a delicate balance between foreign policy and domestic sensitivities, stressing the need for Malaysian, irrespective of background, to back the Palestinians' cause. And Prime Minister Anwar's leadership, I could say, demonstrates efforts to unite for a just and compassionate cause transcending religious and ethnic division, for the betterment of all humanity amid the complexities of the Middle East conflict. I think most recent development on the December 20, Malaysia Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim announced the decision to ban all Israel flag cargo ship from docking at the country's ports in response to the ongoing war in Gaza, especially the Zim shipping company. This decision came amid a growing alarm over disruption of global shipping due to the conflict, and the ban of Israel ship from docking at Malaysia's ports includes Israel's largest shipping firm, which is the Zim Corporation. So the Malaysian government decided to block and disallow those ships from docking at any Malaysian port, and the restrictions are effective immediately. This move demonstrates how the government and the Malaysian people are committed to support the Palestinian people and condemning Israel's action in the Gaza issue. I think that would be some of the initiative and also the action that has been taken by our Prime Minister.
So it seems like it is obvious that our Prime Minister is a prominent supporter and also being vocal of his support to the Palestinians. He even, just like you mentioned just now, committed in giving aid of 100 million to the Palestinians. So in a way, it seems like it also reflects the country itself, the Prime Minister, as Malaysia is also known to be one of the, if not known, one of the number one supporter of Palestine. And these support include humanitarian aid. So could you explain to us how does the Malaysians' contribution, especially when we talk about the humanitarian aids to the Palestinians, such as the key shipment initiatives, and is there any recent successful delivery, and how do these efforts give impact to the Palestinian community?
Okay, thank you for the question. Initially, as I mentioned, Prime Minister Anwar committed Malaysia to substantial humanitarian aid, which he pledged 100 million value of aid, which he presented in the parliament. And I think Malaysia has provided significant humanitarian aid to the Palestinians in Gaza through various initiatives. I think Malaysia's first shipment of humanitarian aid for Palestinians, totaling more than ringgit Malaysia 7 million, departed for Al Arish International Airport in Egypt, and the 20-ton shipment, including medical supplies, was handed over to Egyptian Red Crescent Society for delivery to Gaza through the Rafah border. And the second shipment of humanitarian aid, totaling also 20 tons, also departed, in mid of November to Egypt, Egypt as well. This shipment include medical supplies, baby goods, and was part of a total 50 tons of goods collected through various Malaysian NGOs and organizations. The third humanitarian aid delivery for Palestinians, known as Ops Ehsan, safely
Ihsan.
reached Egypt's Il Arish International Airport, I think 2 days ago. The flight involving 10-person crew, including 2 journalists, arrived about 2 days ago. Then on a chartered mass cargo aircraft. Officials from the airport and Egyptian Red Crescent Society welcomed the arrivals of the aircraft and unloading the goods from the plane that took approximately 3 hours. And Science Secretary Chairman Mr. Jismi Johari expressed gratitude to everyone that involved in this initiative, highlighting the collective efforts of the Foreign Ministry, government agencies, over 60 NGOs, and the support from Malaysians as crucial to the mission's success. The goods received by the Egyptian Red Crescent Society will be taken into Gaza through the Rafah border before being handed to the Palestine Red Crescent Society, which will be responsible for distributing them to hospitals and also to those in need in Gaza. I think Malaysia King, the Agong Sultan Abdullah Riayatuddin Al Mustafa Billah Shah observed the preparation of this aid shipment at the KLIA cargo terminal, and all these efforts demonstrate Malaysia's commitment to provide substantial humanitarian assistance to the people of Gaza during these turbulent times. And Malaysia has also expressed readiness to send more aid, such as rubber gloves, to support the medical teams in the enclave of Gaza. I think that would summarize all the great efforts that have been carried out by the government and also the NGOs in Malaysia. Yeah.
And just now we talk about the humanitarian aid, but also Malaysia also have in other perspective, which is the legal perspective. And talking about that, what do you think about the Malaysia's pursuit of international legal action towards Israel's aggression? How is Malaysia involved in presenting evidence of war crimes to the international bodies? Is there any collaboration with other nations or even organizations about it? And what are measures taken to seek justice for the Palestinians?
Regarding taking on the legal actions concerning the Gaza crisis, I would like to highlight the role of My Aqsa Foundation, Malaysian non-governmental organization, which is committed to presenting a comprehensive report and evidence of alleged war crimes by Israel against Palestinians to the International Criminal Court (ICC). Mr. Lokman Sharif, alias the co-chair of My Aqsa's legal team, expressed the organization's determination to involve Israel and other implicated parties at the ICC. I think My Aqsa have collaborated with the Palestinian government and embassy in Malaysia to ensure justice. The organization aims to submit a detailed dossier and evidence to the ICC prosecutor's office, seeking prompt action against what they term as the tyranny of the Israel Zionist regime. I think since 2018, My Aqsa has persistently worked on this matter, resulting in an official investigation initiated by the ICC prosecutor on February 9, 2021. They claim that Israel's action constitute war crimes, crimes against humanity and genocide, falling within the ICC's jurisdiction under the Rome Statute. My Aqsa's recognized status as amicus curiae to the ICC aids in establishing Palestine's sovereignty, enabling the ICC to have absolute jurisdiction over investigating and prosecuting Israel for alleged war crimes. My Aqsa Foundation, I think they have submitted a comprehensive 42-page dossier outlining procedural history, legal frameworks, and documented atrocities committed by Israel, resulting in thousands of Palestinians, causalities, and also property loss. Despite ample evidence presenting, My Aqsa expressed disappointment over the ICC's delay in indicting Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israeli Prime Minister, after more than a month of genocidal attack that claim over, nowadays 20,000 lives, including children, women, and civilians. The evidence include verified videos, images, and credible testimonies from eyewitnesses who observe atrocities firsthand, collated with assistance from the Palestinian government. My Aqsa stands ready to provide additional evidence if required by the ICC to strengthen the case, believing that there are substantial grounds for issuing a warrant to arrest against the accused individual under Article 61 of the Rome Statute. Urging formal charges under the Article 21, My Aqsa implores that ICC to initiate a thorough investigation under Articles 15 and 53 of the Rome Statute, emphasizing the compelling evidence already presented. My Aqsa also urged for immediate action from the ICC to halt further death and displacement in Gaza, urging the organization to act impartially and promptly, citing past instances where ICC acted swiftly based on less compelling evidences. My Aqsa demands an expeditious investigation without deliberate delays to address the ongoing crisis, and they are calling upon Muslim nation to cease all form of business and trade with Israel entities, any of Israel entities, and urge those maintaining diplomatic relations to sever ties and close Israel embassy within their respective countries, in the course of protests against the Israelis actions. I think that would be the legal actions that have been taken by one of the NGO in Malaysia. I think very significant action or significant measure that they have taken to bring this case in the framework of international law.
And we still want to talk about Malaysia providing aid and also diplomatic efforts among the region. So, in what ways has Malaysia demonstrated regional support or even assistance to neighboring countries when addressing issues in Gaza?
In answering your question, Patricia, I would like to cite an anecdote of our country helping the Thai government of freeing some Thai hostages. Yeah, that's been in Gaza. Thai Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin visited Malaysia, I think last November, seeking assistance from Malaysian Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim regarding those Thai citizens who were reportedly held captive by Hamas during the clashes between Palestine and Israel. During Thavisin, the Thai Prime Minister visit to Malaysia, he held a discussion with Mr. Anwar Ibrahim at the Prime Minister's office in Putrajaya, specifically concerning the hostage situation. And the Thai Prime Minister requested Malaysia's assistance primarily because of their positive diplomatic, Malaysia's positive diplomatic relation with Palestine, hoping that our country could contribute in resolving the issue. According to Thailand's foreign ministry, 14 Thais were reportedly taken hostage since October 7 amid the conflict, and approximately 20 were feared killed during the clashes or Israel's aggression in Gaza.
Mm-hmm.
In efforts to secure the release of the hostages, Thailand sought assistance from various parties and countries, including Saudi Arabia, Egypt, or Jordan, Qatar, to aid in negotiation efforts. And in this case, I think we should highlight this, that Malaysia played a very significant role in facilitating the release of those Thai nationals held captive by Hamas during the crisis. And Prime Minister Anwar highlighted during his one-day working visit to Thailand that Mr. Tavisin expressed gratitude to Malaysia for our role in helping secure the release of the hostages held by Hamas.
Mm-hmm.
And the support provided by some of support provided by Egypt, particularly in opening its border, was also instrumental in ensuring the safe release of those hostages. And recent developments showed that three additional Thai hostages were freed from Gaza, bringing the total number of released individuals to 17 since the ceasefire, the pause, humanitarian pause was established.
Mm-hmm.
Weeks ago.
70 were released.
Yeah, and Malaysia's instrumental role in aiding Thailand during this hostage crisis has significantly strengthened bilateral relation between the two nations. Through effective diplomatic engagement and collaboration, Malaysia's Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim support and coordination with Thai Prime Minister showcased the positive impact of regional cooperation. Malaysia's assistance, coupled with diplomatic efforts and engagement with other countries like Egypt, not only contributed to the safe release of Thai nationals, but also underscored the potential of enhanced collaboration and support among neighboring nations in times of crisis,
Mm-hmm.
and fostering deeper ties and solidarity within our region. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be some of the important anecdote whereby Malaysia has played a very significant role
Mm-hmm.
in helping our neighboring countries
Mm-hmm.
in an issue that with regard to the crisis that happened in Gaza.
So in a way, even though our country is physically far from Palestine,
Yeah.
we somehow do have some sort of like power of negotiation and
Yeah.
also a role in helping to resolve the conflict. And as
Exactly.
we are reaching the end of this conversation, what additional steps can Malaysia take to further support the Palestinian cause, and how can Malaysia leverage its diplomatic relationships and collaborate with international organizations to extend aid and also to advocate for a resolution in Gaza?
I think with regard to what more that Malaysia could do in helping the situation and addressing the crisis in Gaza, I would like to outline, I think, 9 or 10 recommendations that our country could do, or our people could do, or measures that they could undertake in order to help the situation. Firstly is the track 1 diplomacy, whereby Malaysia should seek to have more leadership roles in international platforms such as the UN, where it can voice its support for the Palestinian cause and mobilize other countries to do the same. For example, Malaysia can initiate or co-sponsor resolutions that condemn the Israelis' occupation, settlement and human rights violation, such as the Resolution 377A, which allows the General Assembly to act when the Security Council fails to do so. Malaysia can also align with foreign policy, can align its foreign policy with the UN Sustainable Development Goal (SDGs), which include the protection of human rights, the promotion of peace and security, and the prevention of genocide and atrocities. And Malaysia also can highlight how the Israeli aggressions and oppression undermine the achievement of those SDG goals. Secondly, a track 2 diplomacy, whereby Malaysia could also lead in track 2 diplomacy with which involve the engagement of non-state actors such as think tanks, NGOs, academics, and media in influencing the policies and opinion to other countries. NGOs, academias, media can lead the formation of respectable think tank that can act as a Malaysia can lead the formation. Malaysia can lead the formation of a respectable think tank that can act as a lobby in the US. This is one of the recommendation. The main ally and the supporter of Israel, and present a credible alternative perspective on the Palestinian issue. So such a think tank can be a collaboration with key ally states such as Turkey, Pakistan, Indonesia, South Africa, which share similar views on this particular issue. Thirdly, regional role. Malaysia, as I mentioned about our regional role, Malaysia should also play an active role in regional platforms such as the Non-Aligned Movement, and NAM, and also the Association of Southeast Asia Nations, ASEAN, where it can rally the support and solidarity of other developing and emerging countries for the Palestinian cause. Fourthly, inter-civilizational dialogue. Malaysia should also initiate and participate in inter-civilizational dialogue with key global religious leaders such as the Pope of the Vatican and the Dalai Lama, the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar, and call for unity on the common ground of humanity. Malaysia should emphasize the moral and ethical dimension of the Palestinian issue and appeal to the conscience and compassion of the religious leaders and their followers. And Malaysia should also stress the importance of respecting the sanctity and the diversity of the holy sites of Jerusalem, the mosques, Al-Aqsa Mosque, and the need to protect them from Israelis' encroachment and desecration. Fifthly, Islamic leadership. I think Malaysia should also assume a leading role in Islamic world and come up with a comprehensive religious fatwa that addresses the Palestinian issue from an Islamic perspective. For instance, an edict should be issued by the International Union of Muslim Scholars, Al-Ittihad Al-Alami lil Ulama al-Muslimin, urges Muslims to prioritize their attention, effort, and resources to the issues for Palestinians due to its urgency, rather than other supplementary issues such as performing Umrah and pilgrimage and all that. That was the edict or a fatwa issued by the International Union of Muslim Scholars. Malaysia can also mobilize the support and cooperation of other Islamic organizations and institutions such as the OIC, the Islamic Development Bank (IDB), the Islamic Relief Worldwide (IRR), and to provide political, economic, and humanitarian assistance to the Palestinians. Sixthly, international legal action, as I mentioned before, just now, Malaysia should also pursue international legal action against Israel for its violation of international law and human rights in Palestine, whereby Malaysia can file lawsuit or join other countries in filing lawsuits against Israel at the International Court of Justice (ICJ), the International Criminal Court (ICC), or other relevant tribunals, and seek legal remedies and accountability for the Israeli aggressions and crimes and atrocities. Finally, I think some domestic efforts or domestic action that Malaysia could also take politically, economically. Malaysia should exert pressure on companies that have ties to Israel and boycott their products and services. For example, Malaysia could also cancel its contract with the Zim Shipping Company, which is owned by an Israel Israeli billionaire and has been involved in transporting Israel weapon and goods to and from Gaza. And humanitarian aspect, Malaysia should increase the shipments of humanitarian aid to Palestine, especially to Gaza, which has been under, brutal attacks by the Israeli regime, and also a brutal blockade by the regime for more than a decade. So Malaysia should also coordinate with other countries and organizations to ensure the delivery and also the distribution of the aid, and to monitor the situation and needs of the Palestinians. Socially, I think Malaysia should empower its civil society groups and activists that work on the Palestinian cause, and provide them with necessary resources and platforms to carry out their campaigns and initiative. I think the country should also enhance its awareness campaign to reach deeper to the grassroots level, and educate the public about the history, facts, and realities of the Palestinian issue. And I think in terms of for the academia, or for the academic staffs and also researchers, Malaysia should also invest in academic research and publication that address the Palestinian issue from various kind of perspectives and disciplines, and dispel the illusion of Israel as a country that is championing democracy, nationalism, and security, and so forth. And Malaysia should also challenge the dominant narratives and the discourses that justify or normalize the Israel occupation and oppression. And I think the country also should promote alternative and critical voice and views that highlight that the Palestinian struggle and resistance as valid, and their aspiration and rights should be supported. And in terms of youth engagement, I think our country should also engage with our youth population, which constitute a large and influential segment of our society nowadays, and mobilize them towards supporting the Palestinian cause at the larger global level. I think Malaysia should also use, I think the government should also use social media platform as a potent tool to reach out to the younger generation. I think TikTok, Instagram, and so on and so forth, and provide them with accurate and updated information, as well as inspiring and empowering stories and messages about the Palestinian issue. I think the country should also encourage the youth to participate in online or offline activities and movement that advocate for the Palestinian cause, and to form networks and alliances with other groups from other countries around the world that share the same aspiration, vision, and also values. I think that would be some of the initiative. I think our country has done a great initiative before in helping the situation in Gaza. But these are some recommendations that the government and also the agencies and the NGOs could also take into consideration in order for us to support more, give support, more support to our brothers and sisters in Gaza. Yeah.
So in a way, it's not just the government, also the big bodies like NGOs can help to contribute to Gaza, but also we as ordinary people also can actually contribute towards helping Gaza. And just like mentioned by Dr. Badri just now, even for us in a small scale level, at least we could do is that spreading awareness, especially now we are living in a social media era. We can retweet, we can repost all the information that related to the situation that happening in the Palestine, and we can also increase awareness and also helping our friends who may not yet aware about this, so we can help them to understand better of the issue. And also in terms of economy, we can talk about the boycott where we should boycott the company that associate and even support the Israel. And with that being said, Doctor, I would like to thank you for your insight on today's topic, compassionate diplomacy, Malaysia's aid amid Gaza's ongoing turmoil. We would like to also thank International Institute of Advanced Islamic Studies, IAIS Malaysia, for the support and also the sharing for the last 11 episodes of Global Muslim Matters. And we've learned a lot in this show, especially about the current situation in Gaza. We learned about the Israel strategy, about the country's diplomacy, and also how could we as Muslim all around the world can be supportive toward Palestinians. And listeners, thank you so much for your constant support for this show. And Doctor, thank you for everything. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Assalamualaikum